I am going to talk to Arthur in Poland, though. Arthur, you're live with Eric and V. What would you like to talk about today?
Hello, Arthur.
Arthur? Arthur going once. Arthur going twice. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me, guys? Sorry?
Yes.
Great. Hello, guys. Thank you. Thank you for taking my call. Greetings from Poland. So just not to lose your time waiting for the tea scholars. I'm an atheist. Really. I'm an atheist for some time. And since Poland is Roman Catholic by default, so when you speak to a guy, he is a Roman Catholic by default, it's not easy to be an atheist here altogether. But since I deconverted when I was already in a relationship with a lovely lady who is a theist, now we have a second child. And soon the baptism is coming, Roman Catholic, the water stuff, and so on. And how should I approach, because I'm not sure about that. And I'm a little bit concerned. On one hand, it's just some water, some ceremony, and it doesn't do the harm, right? But in the other hand, I'm a little bit maybe confused is the good word, yeah. So I just called you. Maybe you will have some, I don't know, advice, support, or I don't know, really. Maybe you can somehow support me in this.
So in my experience, relationships are very, very, very different from each other. So this is definitely not a one-size-fits-all thing. The best solution, I think, is going to be couples counseling. Go to a counselor together so that you can talk about those things in a productive, structured way that works for both of you, because I don't know you or your wife well enough to know what would work for the two of you. That said, if you are not saying anything and it is really upsetting you, then you could be sowing some seeds here. You could be creating something that could cause resentment later on. And I don't know if that's true in your case, but what I do know is that communication is going to be your best suit, your best way to go about it. And if you think that having that third person, then I definitely highly suggest couples counseling.
I don't know, Arthur. Are there secular therapists in Poland? I'd imagine that it probably would be very difficult to find a therapist who would be able to talk with you about this and not take your wife's side.
Honestly, there are secular therapies like this marriage counseling, but not in religion cases. So if you would like to find, as far as I know, if you would like to find something like I don't know, please help me, this recovering from religion stuff, or which is in the US, or pretty much something like that. I think, or more or less religion related counseling. I don't think so that there is anything like that. Because here it is very unpopular to be an atheist, or even maybe not to be an atheist, to say it openly that you are, or that you do not take this whole stuff seriously. Here people go to this church, they sit for this 1 hour just to looking on the watch to pass time, and thank you. This is it. This is another Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
And usually they don't take it seriously, but it is by default, yeah.
Right, it's a social norm.
Problem, because correct.
Well, Arthur, I do want to preface this by saying I don't have kids. I'm not married, so this is just coming from me as a stranger on the internet, as we like to say. But my thought would be, there is no magic in a baptism, right? There is nothing about a baptism that makes your child into a religious person, or it guarantees that they will be a religious person. So one way to look at this would be, you know what, if it's going to cause a massive amount of strife, and you're okay with giving a little bit in this situation, having your kid being baptized. I was baptized multiple times as a kid. Didn't take, apparently. But there's nothing about the. I was just going to say, there's nothing.
You. This was my approach. There is nothing about it. This is just few drops of water. This is not synchronization, or sorry for my English. This is nothing like who will make something significant. So I just thought that maybe I can go through this because I can. And maybe this is a good approach. And later, when the child will grow up, we will see how this will end up. And maybe this was my current approach. But in the end, I was wondering if in the end I wouldn't have some bad feelings about it, if you know what I mean, yeah?
Yeah.
That's why I called, really.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that definitely speaks to you wanting to co-parent and you making concessions so that your partner can be happy in the way that they want to parent as well. And doing that sounds great. If you feel like it's okay to have a conversation, do they know that you're an atheist?
Yeah. She knows. I used epistemology on her a few times to somehow make her more reasonable, but this unfortunately didn't make anything for past 5 or 6 years.
No worries. Then just say, I really want to co-parent with you. I see this is something that's important to you. And so let's do, like, if it's something that you are willing to give on and go with, just make sure that you're communicating. I don't know your marriage. I don't know, those things, but in my experience, communication has been very, very beneficial, especially moving forward. Because you can say, hey, you know what? I was kind of uncomfortable. Remember, we talked about this, but I wanted to do this, because I want to respect you parenting here. Just make sure that they know.
Yeah. Another thing to do might be
go ahead.
Say if she knows that you're an atheist and she knows that you might be uncomfortable with this, say, hey, I'm willing to give and take here a little bit. I'm willing to let you baptize our second kid. I'm going to feel weird about it. It's going to make me feel kind of icky, but I want to support you and I want to make sure that we're giving a little bit to the other person. But then I want to make sure that during, ask for something else in return. Say, hey, you can baptize the kid, sure, but then after that, I want to watch Cosmos with them by Carl Sagan, right? Or I want to, be in charge of which science books they read as a kid, or something like that. So give and take maybe a little bit, and say, hey, this is something that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, the problem thank you guys, because this is also what I thought would be great, the communicating, but this will be internally in our family. But unfortunately, here in this country, the whole, like you said, the society pressure, I would call this, is like that. Now you start with baptism. In second grade, you have this first communion. Then after you had this, and everybody has it, and so on and so on. So even if I will go through this baptism stuff, which is, like we said, no harm at all. This is nothing, right? I don't know, at scouts, making someone a scout boy or whatever, giving a medal. Then in the second grade, when this first communion will arrive, then there will be another problem and another issue, another conversation like that, and then I think it will be much more bigger issue than now. Yeah.
Then if you're seeing that coming down the road, talk to them about it. Go to couples counseling, because you're already seeing something that could be a problem. Don't wait until that time comes. Start working on it now while it's manageable.
Good.
Now we've got to head over to the next.
I think so. I think so, because
from what I'm hearing, though, Arthur, you're on point. You're coming to the same conclusions that we are. I agree with your approach so far, and I think that you're clearly a good dad and a good husband. So keep it up.
Yeah, definitely. Take care, man.
Thanks. I hope so.
All right. So we do have a couple theists on the line.
Lovely.
I'm excited about it. I don't know about you, View. I don't want to take Kevin anymore.
Yeah, it's at this point, it's the same old, and
Yeah.
we need to keep this fresh for the viewers. So let's
Kevin, take
let's
care,
move on.
man. Good luck calling other shows. But I think we're done. So
Yeah.
drop him
Try
off.
Truth Wanted. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah. Anyway, before we head on to the next theist caller, though, I do want to thank our patrons. It's that time.
Yes.
I just refreshed it, and I want to thank our top 5 patrons: Dingaloo, Jay Friedman, Kamal, Ribau, and Ward Nippling. Thank you so much.
Nice. Some new names in there. That's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. If it's your patronage that keeps us going, and we sincerely appreciate it. If you want to consider, if you want to support us, you can go to patreon.com/talk heathen to me. That's patreon.com/talk heathen to me. All right. Let's move on to the next call while we can.